What's going on, everybody? Just getting ready to pull out of the mall and go walk a dog. Just had to drop off a game that I had sold on eBay. That's still been going well. That's not what this video is about. Wanted to touch base today and talk about the running. What's going on with the running? Well, it's been a while since I've really been doing anything organized. I had talked about maybe training for a 10K or something like that earlier this year, and that just didn't really materialize because of just, several different factors, several different things that took place or didn't take place. But you know what? The weather is here. It's that time of the year. Got to stop messing around. So as of yesterday, Wednesday, April 28th, I officially kicked off the training of my newest training block, and that is going to be another half marathon attempt. I'm going to be doing another half marathon attempt. I'm going to be running it on my birthday, July 25th. I'm going to be turning 38 years old, and I figured that I should aim for a 138. 138 for my 38th. It's about a 436 kilometer pace. I don't know what that is, like a 715 mile or something like that. It's fast for me. So if you've been here for a little while, you've been paying attention and following along the running stuff, I ran a half marathon attempt in November where I was aiming for a sub 140. Trained well for it, did well, felt good on the day. It just didn't quite go my way. Slowed a little bit on that last 5K, and that's all right. So I ended up with like a 142. I was still almost a 10-minute personal best. So not complaining with that result at all. I felt good, and that was a really confidence-boosting training block and time trial, even though I didn't hit my goal. So I feel like I could have been somewhere around 138, 139 on that day, had the day just kind of gone my way. And sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, I mean, even the elites and sub-elites and some of the other running YouTubers that I watch that are running, going out there like Matt of the Welsh Runner, going out aiming for a 224 marathon. He hits like a 235, and that's a disappointing day. So I'm not quite there. But definitely, you learn a lot from each training block. Or you can learn a lot. You should learn a lot. And you learn from every success and every failure, if you want to call it that. So the November time trial, 142 and change. I feel like it could have been a 138 and change had everything gone my way again. So that's what I'm aiming for. July 25th, gonna get up early on my birthday, go run a half marathon. I know it's not what most people do on their birthday, but hey, I'm not most people. Most people also don't run a 365-day run streak in 2018, but I did that. So yeah, kind of kick things off with just 4 weeks of just building that mileage, pretty much no speed work or hills or anything of any intensity other than just like picking it up every now and then, what we would call in the runner's world like a fartlek session, which is essentially, just a little bit of speed play, short little bursts of speed, or maybe even some short little intervals like where I do, maybe I'll go run on the track or something like that for just like a steady run or something like that. And maybe I'll even throw like a couple of half laps around the track, some 200s at, slightly elevated pace, but definitely not going to do anything crazy for the first 4 weeks. I'm just going to be building back up, getting my mileage up. I haven't been running a lot lately, but I've been, obviously walking tons of dogs and just basically walking 2 or 3 hours every day. Not every day, but a lot of days. So I'm staying fit, I've still got my good cardio base. It's really just now to bring that back into a running focus. So the first 4 weeks, I'll just kind of, gradually build that weekly mileage up. I'll build for 3 weeks, dial it back for a fourth, and then take another jump, do 3 more weeks of building, and dial it back again. I like to do that recovery week every fourth week, where the overall mileage drops a little bit back down, but also the intensity. Not to say that I wouldn't have speed work or a tempo run that week, but maybe instead of doing like an 8K tempo run and a mile repeat session in the same week, maybe I would just do one of those, and and maybe like instead of 5 by a mile, it's 3 by a mile, or instead of an 8K tempo run, 5 mile tempo run, maybe it's more like a 3 mile tempo run or something like that, just a 5K. Just to make sure that you're allowing yourself to really recover and absorb the training from those previous 3 weeks. The biggest thing for me is that I'm going to be looking to up my mileage into unprecedented realms for me. So when I did my run streak in 2018, did 2 marathons, so I basically started like base building marathon training. January 1st, got out there, first day of the run streak. It's like, all right, well, let's build up this base, and then ran that first marathon in May, Fredericton Marathon on Mother's Day. And before that, I had peaked for that only at about 80K. I think I hit 88 or 55 miles one week, and that's my biggest week I've ever run. Keeping in mind, I really did only start running not even 5 years ago, and I had some injury where I was out for the best part of a year and stuff like that. But 55 miles is my biggest week so far, and that was 3 weeks out from a marathon. I'm going to be aiming to peak at about 120K for a week, which is somewhere around 75 miles. 70 miles, 75 miles, somewhere in that range, 72 miles, I don't know. But I'm going to be peaking at that 2 weeks before this half marathon attempt. So not only am I going to be running a significant amount more than I did in preparation for those marathons, I'm also doing it in preparation just for a half marathon. So I really feel like I'm going to be building that base. I'm going to have the fitness where there's going to be no chance, essentially no chance anyway, that I'm going to be just like getting tired at the end of that race, Not to say that I'll be able to hold my goal pace, but I'm going to have the fitness where 21K is like half marathon distance, 13.1 miles is just, that is nothing, right? Like I want to be able to go out and run that distance as if I'm just going out for a 10K or something, and I know it's all relative, right? Like I know that a 10K maybe feels like that's a long run or quite an accomplishment for people. And absolutely, it was for me at one point, and yeah, it surely would be for other runners. So it's all relative. So when I'm saying these numbers, like, keep in mind that this is all just where I'm at right now, where I think that I can be in preparation for the goals that I think are reasonable goals for myself. So comparing yourself to others is pointless. I did that for the first couple years of running, and while it led to a little bit of a competitive edge, and maybe I placed in a couple of 5Ks, a couple of spots better than I would have otherwise. No, just those first couple of years of running, you take that for yourself. Speed will come. That's all just rebuilding your body, basically, to be a runner and be an efficient runner. And I'm still learning 5 years later, and still like adjusting and getting my biomechanics and getting my stride, getting my cadence really where it needs to be. That was one of the biggest things so far for me, like in the last year and a half, and why I think I had such a successful time trial last year for the half marathon is I wanted my cadence, my steps per minute, to be right at 180. And I know that if I'm running at 180, between 175 and 185, if I'm hitting that for my average cadence for a run, then I know that I'm running with good form. I know that I'm running with an efficient stride, and I know that I'm going to feel less tired because I'm not, under striding, but I'm also not over striding and reaching in my steps. So I'm going to be hitting a proper good form when I'm running at a 180 cadence or thereabouts. And then on race day, like in my time trial for the half marathon, where that was a little bit more up tempo, I get into the mid 180s, maybe even approaching 190 for some of it. And that makes sense because you are quickening your stride. You're like, okay, well, let's do this same efficient stride just faster, because we're trying to hit a time goal. But anyway, that is the goal right now. 138 for 38 for my 38th birthday. That's the plan. That's what I'm going to be aiming for. So, training started yesterday, essentially. And I got 12 weeks, 13 weeks, basically, to put it together. I'm feeling very motivated. I filled out a running journal that Jamie got me for Christmas. I've got that all geared up. Got my plan written in there. Got all my goals written in there. And I'm going to log each run, manually, pen to paper. I know Strava does all of this. My Suunto watch calibrates and automatically sends that to Strava, and it uploads, and it's there. But I still want to just be engaged in that manual, that physical connection of writing it down, reflecting on it, and then very easily being able to just turn the pages later on if I want to reflect upon it. So that's the plan. I'm going to get out for another 8K today, 5 miles, nice and easy, and see how that goes. I'm going to take you guys along with me for this running journey, this training journey, and see if I can hit that 138. Not looking for sub 138, just looking for a 138 and whatever. So essentially a sub 139. So I'm just kind of like upping my goal from last time by a minute. And we'll see how it goes. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.